J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series, is a name synonymous with success. But before she became one of the most successful authors in history, her life was far from a fairy tale. Rowling faced numerous challenges. She was a single mother, struggling to make ends meet. She had just gone through a difficult divorce, and she was living on welfare, battling depression. She had a dream, though a dream of writing a story about a young boy who discovers he's a wizard. But her situation was so dire that she even considered herself a failure. Despite all these challenges, Rowling didn't give up. She wrote the first Harry Potter book in cafes, often pushing a stroller with her young daughter by her side. When she finally completed the manuscript, she sent it to multiple publishers, hoping that someone would take a chance on her story. But rejection after rejection came in. 12 different publishers turned her down, saying that her book wasn't marketable, that no one would be interested in a children's story about a young wizard. It would have been easy for Rowling to give up at that point, to believe that maybe those publishers were right. But she didn't. She persisted. Finally, after all those rejections, a small publishing house decided to take a chance on her book. And the rest, as they say, is history. The Harry Potter series went on to become a global phenomenon, selling over 500 million copies and inspiring a generation of readers. J.K. Rowling's story teaches us a powerful lesson: failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of the process. Failure is not something to be feared or avoided. Instead, it should be embraced as a stepping stone on the path to success. Failure often gets a bad reputation. We're taught to avoid it at all costs, to see it as a sign that we're not good enough, that we're not cut out for success. But this perspective is not only limiting, it's completely false. In reality, failure is one of the most powerful teachers we have. Think about it. How do we learn? As children, we learn to walk by falling down. We learn to speak by making mistakes. Every significant achievement in our lives is built on a foundation of trial and error, of failing and then trying again. Now let's consider innovation. Some of the world's greatest inventions and breakthroughs have come from failure. Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Each failure brought him one step closer to success. If he had stopped at failure number 9,999, the light bulb might never have been invented. But here's the real problem: we live in a world that glorifies success and shames failure. We're bombarded with stories of overnight success, tales of people who seem to have it all without ever facing setbacks. But these stories are the exception, not the rule. The truth is, most successful people have a long list of failures behind them. They've stumbled, fallen, and gotten back up more times than they can count. When we internalize the fear of failure, it can paralyze us. We become afraid to take risks, to step out of our comfort zones, and to chase our dreams. This fear can hold us back from reaching our full potential. But when we shift our mindset and start seeing failure as a natural and necessary part of the journey, everything changes. So how do we change our relationship with failure? How do we start embracing it as a part of our growth process? Here are some practical steps. First, reframe failure as feedback. When something doesn't go as planned, don't label it as a failure. Instead, see it as feedback. What can you learn from this experience? What went wrong? And how can you improve? This simple shift in perspective can transform your setbacks into opportunities for growth. Second, celebrate your failures. This might sound counterintuitive, but celebrating your failures is a powerful way to take away their sting. When you fail, acknowledge it, learn from it, and then celebrate the fact that you had the courage to try. Each failure means you're one step closer to success. Third, surround yourself with resilient people. The people you surround yourself with have a huge impact on your mindset. Find people who have failed and bounced back, who see challenges as opportunities. Their resilience will inspire you to keep going, even when things get tough. Fourth, take action despite the fear. Fear of failure is natural, but it should never stop you from taking action. The next time you feel that fear creeping in, remind yourself that every successful person has faced failure. Take a deep breath, and then take the next step. Action is the antidote to fear. And finally, keep the bigger picture in mind. Failure can feel overwhelming in the moment, but it's important to remember that it's just one part of your journey. Keep your eyes on the bigger picture. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Trust the process. Remember, the road to success is rarely a straight line. It's filled with twists and turns, ups and downs, and yes, failures. But these failures are not the end of the road. They are simply detours guiding you toward your destination. Don't let the fear of failure hold you back. Embrace it, learn from it, and most importantly, keep moving forward. The only real failure is giving up. As long as you're still in the game, you're still in the process of succeeding. So what's your next step? What will you do today to turn your failures into fuel for your success? Take a moment to think about it and then take action. Your success story is still being written, and every failure is just another chapter. Remember, failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of the process. Embrace it, learn from it, and keep pushing forward. Your greatest success might be just one failure away.